We continue here on Longhorn Weekly. Longhorns assistant coach Russ Springman, our special guest. We've talked about this whole thing about recruiting and services and the rise of social media. Has it made your job more difficult?
I wouldn't say more difficult. It can be helpful when you have so many kids being evaluated, but then you still have to get back to how credible is the source. And sometimes the best evaluations come from coaches in an area that aren't even coaching that particular kid. It's interesting to find out, if you ask a coach, what kid in your district has impressed you the most that's not on your team, and then you consistently hear the same name pop up from 3 or 4 different coaches, then there's certainly some credibility there. And a lot of the kids that are very talented sometimes don't get enough attention because there might be 3 other guys at their position in the same area, same city, same district sometimes, but they're still really good players. I mean, I think you look at a guy like DeMarcus Holland and how much he's improved really since he got here. He's a very talented young man and probably wasn't being recruited at the highest level consistently. And for us to have an opportunity to add him to our program with his work ethic and character and commitment and passion for the game, I think there's guys like him out there that are very deserving of an opportunity to play at this level, and they're going to be very successful playing at this level.
I get the feeling, as close as you are to Kevin Durant and as instrumental as you were in his recruiting and his arrival on campus, that knowing you as I know you, it probably means as much to you that a guy, an unheralded guy like a Royale Ivy, is as gratifying to you and the coaching staff to see what he came through in his progress as much as it is to see an incredibly heralded guy like Kevin live up to all the hype, which was difficult for him to do. They're 2 different stories, but I imagine they're equally gratifying.
No doubt about it. I think one thing that you focus on with young men when they come on campus is preparing them for their future and having an opportunity to live their dreams. And anytime you get a chance to see one of your players live their dreams and truly change the future for their family, that's an incredible experience to be a part of, and to look at somebody like Royale Ivy and to see that. I mean, you look at his class and where he came in, and now he's played in the NBA longer than any of those guys. That's a heck of a compliment to not just who he is as a player, because that pales in comparison to who he really is as a person, as a man now. And that's the other thing that's fun to watch is you get these guys that come on campus 18 years old most of the time, and by the time they leave, they've progressed from being truly a kid or a young man, maybe as a stretch, to being on their way to manhood and being able to manage responsibility and handle accountability. And I think that's a responsibility that we have as coaches, is to help prepare them for just that. And to see somebody like Royale, who's always applauded by every coach he's ever had, every general manager that he's ever been around, just for what he brings to the culture and the fiber of that organization, I don't know if there's a better compliment that you can have than what he's experienced.
Obviously, when there's big recruiting weekends and when guys arrive on campus on a home basketball weekend, there's so many different things. What goes into, say, a big upcoming recruiting weekend for you and for the staff when guys get on campus and you've got a basketball game to deal with as well?
I mean, the focus is always going to be on the game and preparing for the game and making sure we're doing everything possible to help coach prepare our team to give us every opportunity to win the game. And then from the recruiting standpoint, it goes back to what Coach was talking about, listening to what's most important and asking them before they get here, what do you want to focus on during your time at Texas? Because the worst thing that can happen is you leave here and you still have questions or concerns. So you let us know up front, because that's where we want to spend our time. And really what we try to do is let the kid, I shouldn't say kid, the recruit and his parents, educate us on what do you want to spend your time on while you're here, and then we cater the visit to just that. So that way it's based on, it's not about us. Where it is about us, I should say, is the people that they're going to be exposed to. We want them to understand, and Coach says this all the time, we have a tremendous support structure here. The number of people that truly care about the student-athlete's experience is incredible. From Randa Ryan, Todd Wright and his staff, everybody that's on our staff, there really is a 360-degree circle around the young man during his experience here. So he's touched in so many different areas that really he can't help but grow academically, he can't help but grow personally, he can't help but grow athletically because of the commitment we're going to make to them. That's the part that's about us, but the rest of it I think is strictly on them and what they want to experience.
I think there's a preconceived notion that folks have of recruiting when a coach shows up at the kid's house and he comes and he's got his pitch, his sales pitch, but yet from listening to you, it sounds like the vibe more is you actually ask more questions than are asked of you.
I think I would look at it like this. If Durant, our son, was in a situation where he was being recruited, I would hope somebody would ask him what's most important to him as he goes through the process and gets closer to making a decision, and then also asks my wife and I what's most important to us as he gets started with the process and continues through to get closer to making a decision. And then you start, trying to find out, well, okay, where are these other people, the parents and the young man, where are they going to get extra information from? Who are they going to turn to? And you got to find out what's most important. I don't think what we do is different than what other people do. I think Coach is such a genuine person that you feel that from him when you communicate with him. And it's one thing to communicate on the phone, and you start to get that impression. It's another thing when he's sitting in front of you, and you have a feel. He's got a presence about him where he's real, he's genuine, and you feel that from him, and you know he's going to care about your child while he is under his care.